what is the paradigm that we create? So, again, we talk about a paradigm. Our current paradigm is what it is, folks. Examine it for yourselves and state whether or not you, or decide for yourself whether or not you view it as a positive paradigm, or if it's a paradigm you want to stay in. If you like the world the way it is, with all these wars, with the hunger, with the homelessness, with the misery, pain, and suffering that so many have experienced and endured through, right? For so long. If you are fine with this world where, children are kidnapped, tortured, and a bevy of other unspeakable things done to them, where women are sold and trafficked as sexual objects, right? And treated horribly, right? As in a world where human beings are still currently being enslaved, right? If you are fine with this paradigm, with this, what I would describe as a low vibrational frequency paradigm, you have it, right? Reside in that. It's your journey. It's not for me to judge or say you should be striving for this or you should want better. That's for each individual to determine, right? But if you do see yourself or would like to exist in a paradigm that is not in line with the direction of the old paradigm, right? And I think many of us see where that's going. The paradigm I just described, the paradigm we find ourselves in, where we're being massively distracted and drawn into states of fear by a pandemic and a group of socio-economic elite individuals running this planet who have nothing but dark, evil, nefarious plans for us all. If you don't want to be a part of that, and you want to sort of go with the planet, because see, folks, the planet is going to shift regardless, right? Like I said, all that is out of our hands. We see ridiculous, in my estimation, we see efforts, again, I'll say ridiculous efforts by the socio-economic elite to fight this because they don't want there to be massive amounts of human beings who go through spiritual awakenings and end up existing in a higher vibrational frequency state, thus existing in a higher dimensional state, right? Because then they can't touch you. Period. They can't control you, can't do nothing with you. Fifth dimensional human beings is not something that the socio-economic elite want to see on this planet. Which brings us to the planetary split. Now, the planetary split is the result of this planet getting to that precipice that I referred to earlier, where we're resting right on the threshold of fourth dimensional, because, folks, believe it or not, or let me state this another way. In my estimation, the reason why we have in fact seen things, the reason why we have seen things move into such a really crazy state is that we have in fact pushed into a fourth dimensional state of existence on this planet. Now, again, we are in a state or a situation where we're going to be moving forward. This planet, regardless of our activities, is moving forward as the solar system and the rest of the galaxy is, right? And will ascend in dimensional state of existence. Now, for our personal state of existence, in terms of beings or inhabitants on this planet, that is going to come down to however each individual decides, whether through intentional action or through a decision to act or change themselves in a way that would raise their personal vibrational frequency resonance so that they can align themselves and ascend themselves into a higher dimensional state of existence, or if they would remain or even descend into a lower state of dimensional existence. That is an individual process, and one that we can't manage for anyone else, right? Parents don't have the ability to get them or to forcibly raise, right, their children's vibrational state, and vice versa. It actually comes down to each individual, right? So let's just make sure we have this all framed up correctly as we close this out. We have the energetic wave, which is energy being emitted in a wave form, a massive wave from our star, our sun, which scientists would tell you is imminent, right? It's something that's going to happen. Honest scientists, it's something that's going to happen, right, in our near future. And at that point, our planet will in fact be completely existing in a fifth dimensional state, right? The other thing we talked about was the paradigm shift. The paradigm shift is quite, again, simply the shift in how this planet is impacted by human beings, how we impact one another, this planet, and all of its other inhabitants. As we are the dominant species, we drive the paradigm. And I talked about individual vibrational frequency state of existence being something that each individual either decides through overt decision and action to change their vibrational frequency, or decides by indecision. Because if you decide to do nothing, then you've actually made a decision that you're going to stay at whatever vibrational frequency state you're at, right? Either way, though, it's up to each individual, right? And no one can make that decision or that change for anyone else. No matter what your relationship is to that other person, as much as we may love another person. Now, we can help educate each other. We can help counsel and talk to each other. And perhaps the fruit of that is that an individual is better prepared or in a better position to raise or elevate their own vibrational state or frequency, right? We certainly can do that. And that is essentially the work of the light workers, right? To spread light, that it may give each individual an opportunity to raise his or her vibrational frequency or state of existence. But ultimately, again, it is an individual process, and will remain that. So each individual will either raise their vibrational frequency to resonate with the planet as the planet raises, or they will not. I can't state it any better than that is actually an individual process. I don't care if we're talking about somebody who's 84, if we're talking about a newborn infant. If you ask me, babies, young innocent children pretty much already are vibing on a high vibrational frequency. They're in, right? It's most of us who have lived our lives corrupted, quite frankly, by the old paradigm, who have a struggle ahead of us if we decide to do what we can to raise our vibrational frequency resonance and or our dimensional state of existence. So that's where we're at on that. I know a very complex video and longer than I had anticipated, but very important. We need to understand how to frame this up. We have a paradigm shift. That's all that's happening in this world with all the governments and all their citizens. We see this worldwide lockdown, and we see the governments of the world, unfortunately, nefariously colluding with each other in ways that many would say are not for the best interest of the masses. I happen to personally be in agreement with that, and my information shows me that the governments of the world are quite plainly and clearly steered by the socioeconomic elite individuals on this planet, and they are governed by those whom they worship, right? Which, when you look into the practices, the methods, the thought processes, the religious doctrines, all of those things, the secret societies, their efforts throughout the centuries, right, to control the flow of information away from the masses. All of these things point to a low vibrational frequency state, right? And point to a paradigm that anyone who wishes to ascend, right, to live and exist in a higher dimensional state or vibrational frequency resonance needs to pull away from, right? I make many videos and have made videos talking about all the dark, evil, nefarious, low vibrational frequency, ill intent things that are happening on the planet right now, right? I talked a little bit about what's going on with babies and women and human trafficking and all that. The paradigm is gotten dark. It's very dark. It's a very dark paradigm. This old paradigm that we lived in. Unfortunately, it's very tricky, right? Most of us are so in the dark, or many of us, should I say, because a lot of people are waking up, which is beautiful. But many of us are so in the dark about what the current paradigm on the planet really looks like, because we have this imagery, right, that is nestled in our mind of what they refer to as the American dream, right? That our life is so good and the rest of the world is so envious, right? Everybody just hates us because we live so good. Like, that's literally the propaganda that's used and has been used by the United States and its leaders, that doesn't necessarily reflect the intentions and wishes of its people, but particularly in military conquest, right? we've always pointed toward the justification that the rest of the world is so jealous of the United States and so envious of our lifestyle and our freedoms, right? When in reality, if you take a look, that's a big lie, right? Because your freedoms have been eroded gradually and consistently, continually throughout the years, particularly in recent decades, and right now are being grossly shredded, right? The Constitution may as well not even exist, right? So again, it's an individual decision what you're going to do. Are you going to actively take the steps to move yourself into a position where you can ascend into a higher vibrational frequency resonance and state of existence? Or are you going to hang on like those nefarious individuals, those elites that have steered us into this mess? Are you going to hang on to the old paradigm, or are you going to courageously lock arms in unity, in peace, love, and respect, and forge our way forward into a beautiful new paradigm? And you know it. You know I'm getting ready to say it. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect, right? That's what we aiming for, folks. Let's make it happen. We can do it together, right? Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you. One more again. I'm out. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. From the deepest resources of my soul and heart. I love you. I thank you. I'm out.